Hello, YouTube. So I've got another one of these things of where you got um, YouTube comments gone wild. All right. So this person comes in here and says this is about a video put up here by Mr. Ballin. This child star is evil. Mature audiences only. And I'm going to let you know right now, it is pretty disturbing. I spent 22 and a half years in the United States Marine Corps, and I still work around death. I even worked in cemeteries before I joined the Marine Corps. And this story that he tells is infuriating. And this person right here, and this is a spoiler alert for those of you who want to watch this, you'll want to stop and go and watch it first because I'm going to get into the details of some of the suspenseful parts in here right off the bat. Okay, so spoiler alert. You can stop now, go watch that, and you can come back and watch this. All right. So one of the saddest parts is how Tom almost saved himself and his wife by listening to his gut instinct, which is very true. Um, he could have, I mean, if he just listened to his gut instinct, but how many of us do that? I don't even listen to my own advice. I keep telling myself I shouldn't argue with this person in here, but I keep doing it because I keep thinking maybe they'll see where they're stupid and yet they fail. Then it says, this is why Skylar's wife should have gotten the death penalty as well. And I agree. She planned the whole thing. She did. Yet she's still in a warm environment getting 3 meals a day. Well, so is Skylar, and so are the accomplices, other accomplices, because California did away with the death penalty. She will eventually adjust to her life in prison and even still have moments of happiness while her victims are chained and rotting in the deep, dark depths of the ocean. Where is the justice in that? There's no justice there. There really isn't. So I'm going down through the comments, and there's some pretty good comments in here. There are 301 comments to this thing. 301 replies. And a lot of it, there was like 250 before I started bantering back and forth with this one person. But this one person is just absolutely nutsoid. She made a comment against somebody else, and that person argued with her back and forth, and I came in on it and said, you know what? That person's absolutely right. You have no clue what they said. You didn't even read it. And she comes in and accused me of making the same comment that she erroneously made the other person. I'm going to show that to you here in a minute. This person's name, I've already seen it pop up here. She argues with everybody in this thread, this entire thread. Calls herself the marvelous software. They are in prison. That is justice, plain and simple. Not really. It's not true justice. It's a slap on the hand. It may not seem fair to you. It doesn't seem fair to anybody with a right mind. And if you insist that it isn't fair, then you have a point. That really is kind of weird right there. You have a point. That I've read that before and just kind of my mind did a skip on it and I just kept going. But I just want to stop it. Then you have a point. Yes, we do have a point. You're the one that doesn't have a point. But to claim there is no justice after they were captured, tried, and sentenced is to discredit the hard work by the investigators, judge, and jury. No, it doesn't discredit the hard work by the investigators. It does discredit the judge, which most judges are corrupt, and it does discredit the jury, but more so, it discredits the Senate and the Congress that allows these injustices to go on. So this person was wrong on this one and didn't carry it out far enough this direction to the Senate to the right there, to the left there, to the Senate and the Congress. Because if you looked at it, it would be Senate, Congress, investigators, judge, jury, all part of the not the executive branch, the judicial branch of the government, uh, except for the jury. The jury is actually not. They're an extension of the judicial branch, but they're individuals who are neither elected nor paid. Well, actually, some do pay, but it's like $5 a day or something like that, something ridiculous. But it's not a job. It's your civic duty. So even though it's an extension of the judicial branch, a jury technically isn't part of it, only for a moment. Besides, life in prison can be harsher than the death penalty. Yeah, if you're in another country, but in the U.S., no. Uh, they get to have movies, they get to have education, they get to do all kinds of things. Their food is free, their rent is free. They get it easy in there. That's why most of them get in there and they don't want to get out. I can't imagine what life would be like with a whole slew of things you never will experience again. You know what? I actually, and then he says, no more ballin', or she says, no more ballin', no more Mr. Ballin'. So I guess she's mad at Mr. Ballin' too. I didn't see that. All right, so here's the deal. I've been in the military, spent 22 and a half years in the military. I want to tell you right now, when you go to boot camp, it's worse than any prison in the U.S. It really is. We get yelled at, we get beat at. You aren't allowed to talk for any reason unless you are spoken to first. And it's just all day long. You're getting, you have to do all kinds of crazy stuff. And if you quit, and you can quit, but if you quit, you get a bad mark in your permanent record that will follow you everywhere. And you try to get a job after that, you'll be lucky to get a job at mopping or scrubbing toilets at McDonald's. You'll be lucky to get a job like that. You don't get fired from boot camp and then just go out and see the world after that. It doesn't work that way. So let's find some more of her ridiculous comments in here. This is going to be a long video too. I spend that much time. Very well, Captain Judgmental. If you don't like facts, and she hasn't produced one single fact, I hope to accomplish by twisting things around. I don't know what you hope to accomplish by twisting things around. You're only fooling yourself. Okay, I didn't go digging into this. I bet keep drinking that red Kool-Aid, but I have no idea. I'm not going to go through all that. I did not chase that thread down. It didn't interest me then. It does not interest me now. When you agree, while I agree the victims, this is where I keyed in on. She's talking to EBE, die and retry. While I agree the victims, and I presume, so here she's saying that she doesn't know for sure. She's presuming you're referring to the deceased person's family. They're not the victims. I mean, they got victimized, but they are not the direct victims. Should choose if the convicted gets a death penalty. Sometimes this does indeed happen. No, it doesn't. You are wrong when you presume you know what every convicted felon wants. Okay, you're right. There may be one person who'd rather die. But I guarantee you, it has been proven in studies. Well, let's go look that up. Is there a poll for? Okay, let's do it like this. Let's go. Would inmates prefer death or incarceration? Incarnation. Incarceration. Well, I don't know how to spell. It'll find it. Many inmates prefer death, but others don't. wait, suicide rate is at least 6 times higher in the general prison population, given that death row is associated with the harshest conditions of confinement. This is hardly surprising. Um, these are the people that are on death row. They already know they're going to die. All right? Given that death row is associated with the harshest conditions. This isn't the general population. The suicide death rate on death row. On death row. Get that one there. You're going to miss those words. Mysterious software. I know you will. You're going to go, see, the suicide rate 6 times higher in the general. You're going to miss the word than, and you're going to miss this part. Death row is 6 times that of general pop. General pop is not killing themselves. Why? They got it great. They got it great. That's why. This is all death row inmates prefer death to life. But that's not the case for many Americans say that life in prison is a better punishment for murder than death penalty. But it's not. Let's see what this says. This is Washington Post. Not necessarily the best paper in the world. They're not even a paper anymore. Most Americans, this is according to a new Gallup poll. The majority of Americans still support capital punishment. The polling shows even though they are more likely to back life sentences in murder cases. When asked to decide between death penalty, parole, 6 in 10 people chose life sentences, the Gallup poll found. 6 in 10 chose life sentences. When asked to decide between the death penalty or life in prison without the possibility of parole, 6 in 10. So that's a majority right there. That is a majority. So it's not much of a majority, but it is a majority, and this retard here is saying they're wrong. Now, here is where I really keyed in on it. You are wrong when you say the victims, and I presume you are referring to the convicted. To the convicted here would prefer being alive in prison than dead. 100% wrong. No, only 40% wrong, dipshit. Go back over here and look. It says 6 out of 10 people prefer life sentences. And that's just the very first one that I kicked on. I could probably go back here and find more. Which do criminals fear most? Okay, let's just look at this one. I didn't even look. This is Quora. Never mind, I don't like Quora. Quora is, and it says down here, it really depends upon who you will ask. Okay, I don't care about Quora. Not even a Procon org. ACLU. That's one that you liberals should like. Is not being easy. Prisoners who are sentenced to live behind bars until they die are not spending hours watching. Yeah, they are. But imagine if you didn't know that. I know this because I've got family that's been in. They actually do. I don't know who wrote this. Like I said, this is all liberal. Imagine that imagine that all you ever heard was a false tale, so often depicted in the media. Oh, according to the liberals, the media doesn't lie. There's how you spell incarceration. That incarceration until death is like being locked in a country club. I'm not saying that it's like being locked in a country club. It's not easy. You got a bunch of, and actually it's not. It's not the guards or the legal system that's dishing out the punishment in those prisons. Those prisons are ran by the prisoners. And if you don't know that, you're an idiot. In America, the prisons are ran by the prisoners, and they will make life hard on you. If you've never heard the truth about being sentenced to a small, sometimes crowded and sometimes painfully isolated, okay, yeah, sometimes crowded and sometimes isolated cement cell means suffering every day. It would be hard to know that life without parole and that is not how it goes. That really is not how it goes. Whoever wrote this? All right, so juries don't get to hear testimony about the true conditions of life behind bars. I do know that, especially in today's day and age, they don't have a lot of funding, so they wind up with um dirty conditions, and they wind up with you know low on food and the wrong foods and stuff like that. But that's neither here nor there. They still get a lot of things that we don't. They definitely get education. They definitely get to watch TV. Matter of fact, America's Dumbest Criminals did one once where this criminal basically uh, admitted to robbing a bank on film and to somebody else. And so the DA used that film to, and he was holding up his gun and shooting it into the air. They filmed him walking into the bank. They filmed them coming out with the money and filmed them getting arrested. The DA used that guy's tape over the one in the court because this guy, he actually took his mask off for this guy. They did not take it off in the bank. It was more damning evidence. And then to add insult to injury, they ensured that it was played on TV because he wanted a copy of it. So he ensured that it was played on TV for them, and everybody in the entire prison got to watch this tape and his ridiculous behavior. So don't tell me they don't get to watch TV. And I'm not saying they get to spend all day watching it, but they get to spend time watching TV. They get classes. They get training. They get to do stuff. All right, watch this. Let's get the truth here. Does or do convicted criminals get to take free college courses? Do they? Did I say does they or did I say do they? I said do they. Okay. Each year, approximately 1,000 inmates take tuition-free courses. They're all offered that, I bet you. Almost 170 degrees, including master's degrees. You know, I would love to be given tuition-free courses. I am a disabled veteran. I got 60, no, I'm sorry, I didn't get 60. I got 30% disability. I should have gotten 60. I got 30% disability. I've got a broken back. And I got 30% disability. I don't get free college courses. No. Matter of fact, I didn't even have the GI Bill. Wasn't even offered to me. They offered it after I came in. They said, anybody that missed this, here's your chance. But they didn't tell me until after the cutoff date. So as far as I'm concerned, they never offered it to me. I didn't get free tuition, never did. I've taken college. I had to pay for it all out of my own pocket while working. Why do inmates get free college and education? Some do charge the families. Okay, so I did not know that some got to charge. Others do it for free. The concept is to give the inmate a chance of getting a real job. Da 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 da. So here we go. Do they get to? No, they don't get to. The MOOCs, which are free for the rest of the world, could help American prisoners become. Okay, this is something else. This is New York Times. They're another bunch of liberals. Tough on crime bill targeted college programs for inmates, but the program showed success with prisoners, so they probably said, no, forget it. Let's see what this says. But the program showed success with prison population steaming, and they're coming back into favor. Okay, so basically they said, yeah, forget Bill Clinton and his tough on crime bill. I didn't know Bill Clinton did that. That's the only thing then that I know of that Bill Clinton did that I agree with. Okay, Mr. Bill Clinton, I agree with one thing you did. Just one, but one. I can say that. All right, here we go. Let's get back to the meat and potatoes here. If that were true, there would be no such thing as suicide in prison. That's not true either. If you say that the only reason they commit suicide is because It's they prefer to be dead than to be alive in prison. Well, then maybe the only reason that people out here uh, commit suicide that have never been in prison is because they would be life is just so much harder, and we all know life is not that hard. We have hard moments, but it matters how you recover, not how you fall. All right? It matters how you recover. Okay, you know what? I may have misread what this idiot said. Well, no wonder this idiot got mad at me. I thought she said, oh, right here. Right here. I'm sitting here reading it. Uh, you're wrong when you say the victims, and I presume you're talking about the convicted here. All right, let's go up here and see what EBE did say. I got sidetracked there and I missed right over that. What did EBE say? Blah, blah, blah. The victims most certainly would prefer being alive in some prison than being dead. What they're talking about here are the people who died in the bottom of the sea. They would rather be alive in prison than down in the bottom of that ocean dead. And the society should not have to pay for these below human things. We should pay for justice. Justice for the victims and their families. In this case, the death penalty for securing, not for securing the murderers. See, EBE is making a very good point here and actually does do a good job of separating the families, the victims, and the murderers. This marvelous software girl, she could not understand, she could not follow the fact that this person was not talking about the convicted as victims. This person was talking about the victims as victims, and that we shouldn't have to pay for the murderers to be treated like kings. They should be, and actually, this person makes another point right here. Securing the murderers up to the point of offering them LBGT sickness presents. This person that was convicted actually got is actually going through sex change, or got a sex change in prison at taxpayer money. A very expensive process to include all the pre-treatments, the hormones, the expensive hormones, expensive surgery, the expensive counseling, all of that for free, kept them off of the hard times in the prison. Remember, I said there are hard times in the prison. It kept them away from that. So this person actually got away with murder in more ways than one. All right. And EBE is doing an awesome job of pointing this out. And EBE says, but that's my opinion, which is a very solid and sound opinion. And you have yours. And yeah, she does have hers. I always thought and said that ultimately the choice of the death penalty should come to the victims' families. And I sort of agree with that, maybe, but that's just not the way that it happens. All right. So this person's like, take Psychology 101 and you will be embarrassed about the mistakes you make. Always pointing out, saying, oh, this person made a mistake, this person made a mistake, but yet this person cannot even understand plain freaking English. So this is where I jumped into the conversation. My very first comment to this marvelous software lady was to tell her, look, and then I also saw this one down here. Well, anyway, let me get down here where I jumped in. I have no idea how long I am in this thing, but I know I'm in here pretty deep right now. Let's go down here. and click that button, and let's see if I can start showing up here. Looking for nobody. Huh. What happened? I scrolled too fast. That's what happened. All right. And this thing is too long. 301 replies. And the thing about it is, every time I try to post a URL, the mods, they will take these URLs out. They will take that whole comment out. Just delete the whole comment. I don't know if it's a mod or if it's a... but anyway, my first comment to this marvelous software lady. There it comes. It's still not flopping in here. My first comment to the marvelous software lady, right here. I said, no, the victims are not the convicted. The victims are not the convicted. Okay, I don't know what part of this that marvelous software could not understand, but I went on to say, he's saying that if given the foreknowledge of what would happen and given a choice to allow the murderers to take place. Okay, so let's just say that I am the victim, the one that was killed and put to the bottom of the ocean. If I were given foreknowledge and said, hey, I'm going to give you a choice, nobody. Would you like to spend life in prison, or would you rather be murdered? I guarantee you I'd choose prison hands down. Prison is a cakewalk for the convicted when compared to the unjust sentence that Tom and Jackie, the two people that were murdered, were forced to be suffer, and they were forced to suffer that at the hands of the convicted people. Well, I do not know what part of this statement that this retard had problems with, but let's get down here. Oh, before we do, I said just research the years before California death rates. Yes, they did climb, but there was a huge, huge immediate increase following the time that they took out the death penalty. Well, let's look at that. Let's look at California. California. When did, and let's do this. Let's go. When did CA abolish the death penalty? My fingers messed up. Got it in there anyway. No one was executed, remained a rule of law. When was it actually taken out, though? Here we go, right here, March 2019. It was the moratorium on imposing capital punishment. So no more inmates were to be put to death after March 2019. That was the date that I'm looking for right there. But I think I actually looked at it in 2006. So let's just see what we got. This one doesn't go back very far. I can't find the one that I was using, but this will work. It goes back to, take California. It goes back to 2011. And in 2019 in California, you see a huge spike in gun deaths, okay? People getting shot to death in California. When that moratorium was put into place, we went from being a 3.4 to a 4.7 in California, and it was pretty steady for decades before that. But as soon as they knew that, oh, hey, we can kill without getting killed, woo, that puppy went right up. It went right up very quickly. And all right, so let's get back to this over here. And I put that in there for this person to look at. I put down, so what's the worst that can happen? Free rent, free food, and get paid for doing nothing all day, but studying, free medical, not affordable health care, but actually free. It's more free than what I got in the military. All right? These people are getting treated better than the military gets treated. And they're not forced to go risk their lives and health in war zones where they might get shot and not killed and have to live in pain all their life. And by the way, I do live in pain all my life. And yet the VA, which gave me the 30%, keeps tweaking it down every year because, oh, I must be getting better with all these years behind me. No, I'm getting worse. But they don't care. And yes, it's the way that people think, but you haven't bothered to let yourself, and I use the word self-righteous in here because she used the word self-righteous against somebody else. And I get up here and find her garbage mouth running. I'll show you that. Yeah, that's another good one there. Uh, if that was true and people believed it, then why would they be afraid to die if they believed the everlasting joy would take? You know what? That's the way I feel. That's why I don't mind suffering and pain every day because I know I'm going to die. I don't care. I'm going to be in everlasting joy. But you know what? This person's just really dumb. Wow. I don't know where I saw that comment that I keyed in on. But anyway, I'm going to go on down here to find out where did she first respond back to me at, because I didn't say anything else to her until, other than, I did comment on a couple of things. All right, I commented on a couple of things. I would have let it go. So Cassandra, she's arguing with Cassandra Black, calling her, she says, everybody agrees with me. Everybody agrees with me, but yet she's in an argument with everybody on here. You know? So if she's in an argument with everybody on here, how the hell can everybody agree with her? She doesn't know what she's talking about. All right, so I made 2 comments to her. What are you, a wackadoo? I don't know why you think the victims are the convicted. Wait a minute. What did I say? The victims are the convicted? Really? Is that what I said? Let's go back up here. Where was I? The victims are the convicted, huh? That's what she wrote. The victims are the convicted. I wish I could. Oh, man. So, the victims are the convicted. That is hilarious because that's not what I said. What was it that I said? You could actually roll my tape back and find it. It's down here a little ways. What did I say? I think I said, no, he did not say that. Oh, here's where she said, I couldn't agree with you because, and your opinion is so righteous, you falsely claim da 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 da. So she's calling this person so righteous, yet she is the one who keeps, running her mouth about how everybody's wrong and she's the only one that's right. And everybody agrees with her, but everybody's wrong and she's the only one that's right. I cannot even begin to explain how dumb that is. If everything is apples, but this is an orange, then everything's not an apple. If you got this orange over here, it's not an apple. It's a fruit. And believe me, I'm beginning to think she's a fruit. But anyway, I said, what did I say? Where am I at? Talking to her. Oh, I even told EBE, your opinion sounds pretty sound to me. Too bad other people cannot logically think things out. And then here's where I told her, I said, no, the victims are not the convicted. 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 The victims are you a wackadoo? I don't know why you think the victims are the convicted, but that's preposterous. I never said that. I never said that. The convicted get what they deserve. Sounds like a twisted thought, unless you're a criminal yourself. I'm not the one who had that thought. You're the one who are saying that I said it, and you're the one who is saying that EBE said it. No one said it. Not one soul. You're the one who's coming in here, Marvelous Software, saying that everybody said it, but they did not say it. Not a one of us said it. And I put in here, I said, you're the one who said, I assume you mean the convicted, so stop transposing your stupidity on me. I thought for sure that would end it. Reread what I wrote and learn something, but read it carefully. I don't think this person knows how to read. I wrote it on a lower level than maybe 8th grade. Well, I wrote it on a lower level, maybe the 8th grade level, but if that's too high for you, let me know, and I'll tone it down to the 1st grade level to see if you can comprehend it. And then I went ahead and said, I started with no, they are not the victim. How on God's green earth did you manage to screw that up? Do you not understand the definition of the word no? Andrea was wanting to know some stuff, so I told her to do some research, and I started putting in, I was doing countries. I was doing countries on death penalty and murder rates. Oh, because Andrea said, Andrea ASDF had said something about if this is true, why do countries that don't have the death rate, the death penalty, why do they have higher gun crime or something like that? So let's see what Andrea ASDF actually said. So here I am talking to Andrea ASDF, and this Marvelous Software changes the topic that we're talking about and jumps in on this one thinking that she's going to be cute. Change the, because she's embarrassed by now, I imagine. She knows, oh, I screwed up. I didn't know what I was talking about, but I'm not going to admit it. I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm going to just let nobody think that I'm the right one and he's wrong. When no one thinks that, Marvelous Software. It's in freaking black and white. We can see what you wrote. We can see what I wrote. And we can see how you misunderstood two different people making the same comment. It is you that is absolutely oblivious to the entire conversation. Let's see if my find function will work. Find Andrea ASDF. Okay, so it actually did. It did actually come down a little bit for me. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. It usually doesn't. Okay. Oh, really? Murder is illegal. Guess what? I would say it's illegal in every country, and she'd be right. I'm assuming Andrea is a female name. It could be a male name in some countries. Yes, it could. I've been in those countries, but and they are from a non-English speaking country because I see this. I'm sorry, maybe this is because English isn't my first language. But I do not fully understand the hostility because I'm still confused. Okay, but they were actually starting to come together on their opinions because it was a simple misunderstanding because Andrea did not speak English and she was talking to somebody who thought the same way she did, but she didn't realize it. And wait a second, go back up. I put down that it should be commensurate with the crime, and I think she actually answered me. How come that countries without death penalties do not have a higher death rate? All right, that's why I couldn't find what I was looking at. China. Okay, what is the murder rate in China? All right, so what is the murder rate in China? The murder rate in China per 100,000 is 53, 56, 61. Now this retard come in and said I didn't provide links. And she's right, I didn't provide links because I knew that they would get deleted. Okay, China. I said 53 per 100,000, and I put the 53 because it is the newest one listed there, all right? And does China have the death penalty? Does China have the death penalty? All right, let's find out if China's got the death penalty. We all know they do. Capital punishment in China is a legal penalty. It is commonly applied for murder and drug trafficking. All right, so let's go back over here and look at some more of my stuff here. I put down Egypt, 255. All right, let's go to Egypt. In Egypt, EGYPT, okay. In Egypt, 2.55. Okay, so that is per 100,000. All right. Let's go back over here. And I said 2.55. Syria, 3. Syria. Let's just look. Where did I find Syria? In Syria. SYRIA. All right. Countries I've been in, by the way. And I know what these countries are like. All right. So I doubt that I doubt Marvelous Software has ever even been out of her city, let alone the entire country. Murder rate, 3. All right. Murder rate, 3. So here we go. And then I put down countries that do not have the death penalty. Portugal. Does Syria. Does Syria. SYRIA. Because she's going to say, you didn't provide a link. Does Syria. Capital punishment in Syria is legal. Syria, chilling execution spree with 24 put to death. Syrian president issued a legislative decree ordering reconstitution of special pardon for people on. All right. So does Egypt? EGYPT. All right. Do they have the death penalty? Let's look and see. Capital punishment is legal in Egypt. Carried out at least 44 executions in 2016, 35 in 17, at least 43 in 2018, and it goes on. And in Egypt, death sentences can be issued by criminal or military courts up until the president opted not to renew the years-long state of whatever. Egypt sentenced at least 365 people to death in 2021. All right, so yes, Egypt has the death penalty. And then we moved on to Portugal. Does Portugal. By the way, I know it's supposed to be capitalized. I'm just doing this quickly, trying to get through here. The Charter of Law Abortion, Abolition of the Death Penalty was approved in 1867. Okay. The method of capital punishment used in Portugal was by hanging. Portugal was the first country in the world to begin the process to abolish the death penalty. Let's just see what Wikipedia, and I don't trust Wikipedia, they're the biggest. No executions have been carried out since 1846. All right, so let's just look at the murder rate in Portugal. What is the murder rate in Portugal? Portugal. Miss the G. Murder rate, 124. Murder rate, 124. That's pretty high. All right. In 2019, the murder rate was 0.7 people per 100,000 Portugal. There we go. Homicide rate in Portugal. 0.9. What did I put down? I think I probably grabbed that first one. Actually, I found a different site that actually broke it down by years. Was it this first one? What year was this? This was doesn't say select year. But this is where I got the 11.66 right here. Violent crime murder rate 11.66. And that's murder rate per million people. Select year, because they're using a different, I didn't catch that last time. They are using a different system than everybody else on the internet. This only goes out to 2014. Alright, so we'll take the last year available. Maybe that was the last year available. Let's see what it was in 2008. Now this site's not working because it didn't change at all. And I doubt seriously they remained identically the same. Alright. .7 per 0.9 in 2020. What did we have? What did I list on here? 0.7 is still higher than China, but it's lower than that have the death penalty and murder rate. Still lower than Egypt and Syria. Let's see if I did the same thing to Argentina or not. That's interesting. So maybe by doing this I just found an error in what I put down there. Argentina. Argentina, it is Argentina. Argentina. I gotta remember how to speak Spanish. Okay, so again, I use this macro trends thing. And here, I do believe they are using a what do you call it? 100,000 per. It is right there. 100,000 per 100,000 population. So it is an honest to goodness 5.3 for Argentina. Huh. All right. Let's see here. Let's change that back to Portugal. See if that works. Nope. All right. Portugal. No results for Portugal. All right. Go back over here to this. So we got one that questionable, one that we know is absolutely right. Let's see what we got for Belgium. Belgium. All right. Macro trends. So 3.8. So it's climbing. But in 2002 it was 3.8. All right. Let's see if I can get. Oh, here we go. That chart only goes out to 2002. But it says to 2023 on here. I wish I knew how to expand this out. I think what I did at work, the work computer, is a little bit less restrictive than mine, because I think I downloaded this file, but I've got so many restrictions on there, it's not going to allow me to download that This is something else that I did earlier that just absolutely was Virginia, and it's a liberal thing. But yeah, this so many restraints. It won't let me download from there. All right, so let me go back over here to what else did I put in here? But I am seeing a pattern here, and Portugal is questionable. I wished I could get these guys to tell me about Portugal. Let's see, BEL, Belgium. Let's do this. Let's go. I said, what was it that we were questioning? Portugal. Portugal. And let's go POR and let's see if it comes up. POR. Did that work? No, it did not. It told me, I have no idea what you're talking about. Anyway, so there's some of my stats right there that she was so all concerned about that I didn't provide. But she jumped into this conversation, and I wasn't going back and keeping this fresh in my mind. I didn't know exactly who said what or when it was said, and I didn't even realize that she had jumped in onto a conversation that I was having with somebody else as if she thinks that she can confuse me. Which, okay, she confused me about who said what, but my facts were not confused. I knew exactly what I'd seen. You admitted to calling the perpetrators victims. Really? Where? Where did I admit that? She is talking about right here. I said, reread what I wrote, da-da-da-da-da-da. I mean, I did this, I did that. Okay, looks like some things have been deleted because she came in here and said something, and I said, okay, maybe, okay, this is where it was. These posted out of sequence. I said, I'm not clambering through 3,000 replies to see where one of us failed. I will concede that it is possible that I clicked on the wrong person. Forgive my error as I forgive your rudeness. See, you admitted to calling the perpetrators victims. That is your choice of words. Really? Where? Where did I say that? I did not call them victims. I said maybe I replied to the wrong person. Maybe you're not the one who said it. Maybe it was somebody else. I never said that oh yeah, I really did say that. I never said that. You admitted to calling them victims. I never said that anywhere. Your choice of words. No, they're not. You're putting words into my mouth because you want me to say it, but I didn't. I have no idea why you think victims are criminals are victims. I didn't say that. You are the one who have come the closest to saying it out of everybody in here. You are so wrong. No, you are so wrong. You can't even read English. Then you can't admit your mistakes, so you just try to put your errors on others. You're the one putting your errors on. No one's going to accept the responsibilities for your mistakes. For you to even think that is indicative of your immaturity. For you to think that is indicative of your immaturity. I didn't ask you to forgive my... I didn't ask you to take responsibility for my mistakes. I asked you to forgive me for making an error if I made one. But as it turns out, I didn't even make an error. I conceded to the possibility of making an error, but when I did go back and check it, I'm not the one who made the error. Okay, she is. If you can't take responsibilities for your screw-ups, which I didn't make any screw-ups, and actually I may have made one up here. Probably did make one up here because I didn't see that they were using 1 million, and I still can't believe they used 1 million on that. I got to look at that again. That is just that blows my mind. In Portugal, okay. Murder rate. Nationmaster.com. Why would they do a different stat than anybody else? Per million people. Wow. Per million people. By that rate, though, let's look at what they say for Syria. Oh, come on down. Here's an easier way. Control find Syria. 21.5 for Syria. Let's see what they say for Egypt. EGYPT. 12.92. Let's see what they say for China. Where's that at? Fine. China. 10.2. That's still lower. That's still lower than Portugal. It's still the lowest one so far. Portugal was 11. What did we say Syria was? Oh, wait a second. That's not what I wanted to do. Control find. Syria was 21.5. Let's see what Egypt was. 12.92. So those two are actually slightly higher. But let's see what we have for Argentina and Belgium. Argentina and Belgium. Control find. Argentina, 33.8. That's way higher. And Belgium, 16.52. That's so. This sort of knocks down the trend a little bit, but it's still the ones that are higher, for the most part, are way higher, like double the ones that are not. All right. There are a couple of these that have higher than Portugal, but none of them are higher than Argentina and Belgium. They're half of Argentina and Belgium. So Portugal gets a pass on this. That is one stat that I put in there. One stat that really is not a proper in its place. So let's just go ahead and correct that now. Portugal was making a being derived from, and here I am admitting to my mistakes. I am one that will admit mistakes. She won't. A source that used one murders per 1 million people. The others are from sources that used murders per 100,000. And Portugal is the only one that is thrown off by these standards, meaning it is not as bad as it appears. Argentina and Belgium are both 2x or more higher than all of the rest. Okay, so I admitted my mistake, but I also put in there that, you know, it's only a minor mistake compared to the overall picture. All right. There is an error in there. Okay. Woohoo, she caught me in an error. But guess what? I admitted to it, and I'm the one who freaking found it, not her. All right. Uh, she's saying things that are absolutely wrong. You admitted to calling the perpetrators victims. Really? Where did I admit that? Where did I admit that? I don't see that anywhere. Did I say it? Uh, I mean, I started with they are not victims. Really? How did that equate to me admitting to calling them victims? This person is absolutely illiterate, cannot read, does not understand the first clue about the English language. And I'm assuming that they only speak English because the way the sentences are constructed are actually pretty solid. Just the facts are way wrong. It tells me to grow up. All right. I put down, I'm not clambering through three. Okay, we already did that. And you need to grow up sometimes. Might as well start now. You're the one that needs to grow up. Um, Stop running away from reality. I'm not running away from reality. I've pulled up actual stuff up here and posted it. She's posted nothing. Nothing. I never called the perps victims. Never admitted that. I did. So you are so stupid that I can't believe that you can even figure out how to breathe. I really don't understand how she screwed that up. Yes, I called her stupid. Guess what? Anybody that says that, anybody that can read this, all right? And notice, I'm going to show you something here. I'm going to edit this. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to say edit. And I'm going to put in here edited for demonstration purposes. You know what? No, I'm not. I'm going to come in here and the new one that I just made. The new one that I just made. Oh man, the new one's at the bottom. Okay. When you edit something, and I'll see one in here, it puts edited off to the side. Notice, none of this is edited. None of this is edited. I never called them, never admitted, and I said, I think you need to take a first grade reading comprehension course. You should stop commenting because you look and sound like a drunk 4-year-old. She really does. Okay, so here's the one that I just put in here. It's not at the bottom. So I am going to edit this one, edit. This is the one that I just made. I'm going to put down edited for demonstration purposes. Okay. I hit save. It takes a minute to think about it. Notice it says edited right there. 3 minutes ago, edited. Now, even if I go in here and edit this and take this back out and hit save, it's still going to say edited because it doesn't record what I edited. It just lets you know that it's been edited. And you'll see that nowhere in here have I edited anything up to this point. I don't think I edited one single comment in here in this thread. I do edit sometimes, and I always list in there what I edit. Like you saw, I said edited for demonstration purposes. I always put that in there. If I edit something, I'll put down edited because I spelled this wrong, or edited because I found I was wrong. I have done that. But you can see I don't delete. But as you can see, nothing in here has been edited from me. Not one thing. Nothing from her's been edited either. She ought to. She ought to go in here and put down, oh, I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. I didn't know what you were talking about. I couldn't understand English. And but yet I said, let's expand that down some more because we're at the bottom. There is a statement that was taken out in here someplace between here and here. She made another rude comment to me and really ticked me off. I said, okay, you illiterate drunk, here's my original statement about that you're crying about. So I copied it. Nobody, 1 day ago. Notice this is 3 days ago. So add 3 days to this, it'd be 4 days ago. The victims are not the convicted. Remember I said that? Remember seeing this up there? I put down, the reason I called you out was because of this comment. So I put down, I actually copied and pasted EBE's original statement here. I put down, you are so wrong, not only with that, but everyone else in here that you're arguing with. And I already showed you she's arguing with several people. Cassandra Black, EBE, myself. I made 0 errors, 0 screw-ups. And even though, and I even thought at one point I was, and even though at one point I was willing to concede that I might have made a mistake, but I have looked into it and I did not. I put down, you are the retard that cannot understand one single conversation that you are involved with on this thread. And I put down, you're not understanding my writing. You cannot understand anything anybody else writes. You might want to get that checked out. She's really pissing me off. I said, by the way, you're the only person who has said criminals were victims. You know, she never even keyed in on this. This is one point. I put that in there on purpose. I put that in there on purpose to get her to come in. She didn't even understand that. She read it and did not even understand that I falsely accused her of making a statement here. I did it on purpose. She never even addresses this. This is the one thing that she could have called me out on, and she did not call me out on it. And I'm talking about the one thing that she could call me out on without doing research. The other thing, she would have had to done some research. She's never done any research. But this is the one thing that she could call me out on without doing research, where I actually purposely made a fictitious statement here, and it went right over her head. Then she puts down, the convicted is not a victim. You are wrong about that. No, I'm right about it because I said that the convicted is not a victim. I'm absolutely right about it. You're the idiot who cannot figure this crap out. And as I see, as a part of your debate, you resort to calling me names. Yes, I do. But guess what? You're the one who actually started berating me, telling me that I was not mature, and telling me that you cannot reduce yourself to my maturity level. You reduced yourself to below my maturity level before I even started having a conversation with you. And you're still down there. Until you learn that criminals are not victims. I know they're not victims. I said they're not victims. You are absolutely putting words into my mouth. And the problem is, anybody that can actually read, here's my original statement that you're crying about. No, the victims are not the convicted. Did I say that the victims were the convicted? No, I said they're not the convicted. Until you learn that the victim is not, that the convicted is not a victim, you're wrong about that. How am I wrong? I said they're not the victims. This person is just absolutely a troll. Just absolutely a troll. And we're into this now. This started 2 days before this, all right? So, and this was 2 days ago, and it's still going on today. Man, how long is this video now? I don't know. I don't care right now. That's another thing, too. I don't edit my videos. I may have to cut some out because it may be too long to post. The convictum, as I see, you learn that criminals use over and over. Until you learn that criminals are not the victims, you will continue to make the same mistake over and over. I'm not making mistakes because I know the victims are not criminals. You're the one who's making mistakes not because you think the victims are criminals, but because you can't read. You cannot read. You are illiterate. I mean, I never said the victims are criminals. You said I did, but I did not. What I said was, and I'm going to go back up here to where I said it again, and I said it more than once, No, the victims are not the convicted. No, the victims are not the convicted. You are so illiterate that it's not even funny. When you grow up, you will learn that it is very poor tactic to reference everybody else in a debate. I did not ever reference everybody else in a debate. But as you will see, she does later on. She says, everybody agrees with me. She's the one who is referencing everybody else, not me. I have not once referenced everybody else. I've said, you are the only one person, you and you alone. I did say that you have erroneously claimed two others, including myself, that made that statement, but you did not understand what was said. I'm still talking about her and her alone, not referencing anybody else. No, God, I can't believe she said this. Secondly, is the evidence your argument is quite weak. How is my argument weak? I said that you did not understand, and you have proven over and over and over and over and over again that you do not understand. I've not provided any real evidence of my claims. Okay, here's the evidence. You said that I called them victims, when in fact I did not call them victims. I said they are not the victims. How much more evidence do you freaking need? If this went to the dumbest court in America, you would still go to prison over it because you have failed to point out where I said it once. Not once did I ever say that the victims were the convicted people. I have always, over and over and over again, said that the victims are... Is the word not in there? Am I blind? Is that the word not? Huh. I thought the word not meant that they were not. I really thought that. Let's look up the definition of the word not. Because this idiot seems to not understand what it means. We're going to go to the Merriam-Webster dictionary and look up the definition of the word not. A logical operator, for anybody that understands math, okay, and they tell you where to go if you don't, that produces that a statement is in the inverse of an input statement. That's talking about electronics there. Used as a function word to make a negative group of words or word. Used as a function word to stand for a negative of a preceding group of words. Preceding. Preceding. Preceding means coming before. The victims are not. You know what? Maybe she's thinking that I made a double negative here. Maybe that's her problem. She doesn't understand what these three ellipses means. Maybe she thinks I made a double negative. You know what? I'm not going to give her that because now she's going to go, see, you just admitted to it. No, I admitted to the fact that you don't know how to read English. That ellipsis is a continuation, a coming on. And these are two separate statements. That ellipsis separates those two statements. This means this is a follow-on about that. So I said no. As a matter of fact, you could actually add that in there. No, as a matter of fact, the victims are not the convicted. All right. This is just absolutely, I provided no evidence. Really? How much more freaking evidence do you need? Oh, this is where she's trying to change the topic. She's trying to come back up here, and she'll do it. She'll come back up here and bring this into play really quick, like nice, swift, slow and easy. She gets me worked up, gets me pissed off. And we'll go back down here to where she was again. More name calling. I'm sorry, I can't lower myself. Yeah, you're right. You can't lower yourself to my level because you're already lower than it. I can only have an intellectual debate. No, you can't, because you can't even read English. It's too bad that you cannot participate. You're right. I cannot participate with somebody who's got an IQ of less than 70. All right? I really do not know how you can breathe. All right? I must commend you on your choice of names. Nobody. Very appropriate. So here she's actually just trying to take stabs at me. So I took another stab at her. I said, why do you think the criminals are victims? Perhaps you want to be like them. Another thing that she could have called me out on, same thing actually, I'm just reiterating it here. And then I put down exactly, nobody's perfect. That's why I chose the name, to kind of mess with people. I actually chose it to have fun with people. When somebody makes comments in the comment section, they say, why is nobody talking about that? I put down, I wasn't. Yeah, just to have fun with it. Okay, so the problem is you commit straight up libel by accusing people of saying things they never said, and having a character that they do not have. Okay, she's calling me she's saying that I'm making mistakes and that I don't know, and having zero evidence to support your moronic level comments. And they are moronic level. And by the way, let's just look at that. Medical definition of moron. There, believe it or not, there are medical definitions. I picked Wikipedia. Wikipedia is the worst thing in the world. Clinical history of these three words right here. All right. So, idiots. Those that are so defective that the mental development never exceeds that of a normal child of about 2 years of age. That's an idiot. Imbeciles. Those whose development is higher than that of an idiot, but whose intelligence does not exceed that of a normal child of about 7 years. Morons. Those whose mental development is above that of an imbecile, but does not exceed that of a normal child of about 12 years. And that's about where she's writing at. She is writing and making arguments based on somewhere between a 7 and a 12-year-old child. She probably does exceed that of a 7-year-old, but she never makes it up to 12. She may be 8-year-old conversation here. That's why I said she sounds like a drunk 4-year-old. She really does. I said you are either delusional, a troll, illiterate, or some strange combination thereof. Oh, she actually did call it out. I never said the crimes were. I never said crimes were like victims. I didn't see this comment, because if I did, I would have been laughing my ass off, because that right there is absolutely. That's not even a sentence. I never said crimes were like victims. You did. I did not. You made an error, couldn't accept that fact that you did, and then blamed your mistake. Quite sad and immature, but when you resorted to blame calling in several replies, it defined your character well. First time I saw this question, this comment. This is hilarious. Hilarious. Your first part of the sentence complies with your moronic educational level. The second part proves that you are totally incapable of. Part of the problem is I'm blind and my fingers don't type properly. I used to be able to type close to 120 words per minute. I'm probably down to about 20 words per minute now, but my fingers want to go faster, and I make blunders. And I'm getting old, and I'm learning 3 different languages, and I am starting to forget how to spell, because one of the languages, or actually 2 of the languages that I'm learning, use words that the English language borrowed from, and they spell them totally different. Like, for instance, the word correct. Correct. That's how you properly spell correct. C-O-R-E-C-T in 2 different languages. In English, we spell it correct. All right? So, yes, I'm starting to forget how to spell. But I still know how to make a logical sentence of making a logical statement. Watch my video for an explanation. And by the way, explanation. And by the way, I'm not providing additional explanation. I've already explained it over and over and over again. Why? You're the one. I did not make an error. You're the one who made an error, and you still have not freaking realized it. Okay, so you finally did call me out on this, and that's freaking hilarious. You finally realized that I made something up. That's the only thing I made up. BTW, you really do want to watch this video. I do admit something in here even before I saw this comment. Wow, I cannot believe she was actually smart enough to catch that. She caught it. That actually proves that she has some level of intelligence. Not much, but some. Not even close to perfect. The fact that you call criminals victims illustrates this. I never called him a victim, ever. Matter of fact, let's go back up here. Dipshit, I swear to God. Let's go back to my original statement. Let's go all the way back up to my original freaking statement. Now, let's go all the way back up here. We'll go Control Find Nobody. Did it work? It worked. Nope, didn't work. I didn't go high enough up. Go all the way up. We'll go Find Nobody. Bingo. Oh man. A lot of people are using the word nobody. See, I almost played off on this right here. Not only that, but nobody, and I mean nobody, can be sure what's going on in a group of people. I almost said, yep, I sure can. But I'm glad I didn't, because she would have just been confused by that little joke. And that's all it would have been a joke, but it would have sent her off on trying to figure crap out. All right. Let's see if I can find it. Where is my original comment to her? I need to actually scroll up a little bit. My original comment to her is right here. No, the victims are not the convicted. He is saying that if given the foreknowledge of what would happen and given a choice to allow those that murdered him to take place or be given the option of prison, then the victims would have chosen prison hands down. In other words, prison is a cakewalk for the convicted when compared to the unjust sentence that Tom and Jackie, who were the 2 people that were murdered, were forced into by the convicted people. The convicted people being the people that are now in prison. They forced them into a sentence, an unjust sentence that Tom and Jackie had to have. Okay. I can see right now she's not going to understand. If she listens, she's not going to understand what I'm saying. The murderers actually played God by taking these people's lives. They played judge, jury, and executioner. They gave them an unjust sentence and killed them and sent them to the bottom of the ocean. But, if Tom and Jackie had been given a choice to choose between life in prison or letting this murderer kill them, they would have chosen life in sentence. Life in prison. They would not have chosen to allow those people to murder them. That's all I'm saying right there. I never, where did I say the victims are the convicted people? I never, ever, ever said that. Matter of fact, I started off, no, the victims are not the convicted. Said it more than once in here. More than once. And this retard is just absolutely clueless, all right? I see after I showed how wrong you were, and the rest of the world agrees with me. Here she is. I didn't even see this one. The rest of the world agrees. What did she say about, don't include everybody? Oh my God. You resort to name calling and accusing me of your mistakes. Very immature indeed. Ah, oh, this is so hilarious. I cannot believe. All right, well, actually, I can believe it. Oh, yeah, right here. Because, yeah, we're toward the bottom of it. Um, yeah, I jumped to the bottom. We're close to the bottom. So you do provide a fair bit of entertainment. You say you're not going through 300 replies and your immaturity, another sign of your immaturity. Smarter people would filter the, as you can see, I've got a lot of add-ons put onto here. I've got all kinds of blockers on here, and some of these do break some of the functions of YouTube because they have to in order to block all the crap that I think should be illegal. Now, whether it's illegal or not, I don't get to make that call, but in the European Union, you have to allow them to put it in there before they can put it in there. In the US, they can put it in there with or without your permission until you say that you don't want it. You have to opt out. In the European Union, you have to opt in. Neither one of them are worth anything because either way, if you opt out or you refuse to opt in, then you just don't get to use the site, which I don't think is fair. Forcing ads down my throat is absolutely wrong. And the way YouTube does it is ridiculous. At least in TV, you watched a movie and you might have 6 or 7 breaks in there for commercial breaks. People used them for bathroom breaks, but they broke them up in logical places. YouTube will put 10 advertisements in a 5-minute video, a 5-minute song. You don't break up a song. I don't want to hear somebody singing something like, they sing 3 words and then you go into a commercial. It's just wrong the way they do it, all right? And it does break up some of my stuff. I've made 0 mistakes. Everything you have stated so far is 100% wrong, troll. By the way, you can argue with math, but you will always lose. And you will always lose. And she has always lost. I've posted the stats. On the other hand, you've only provided incorrect and childish opinions, which, really, have you seen anything she's posted that's a fact in here? Nowhere. Nowhere. Filtering response, I said, LOL. Filtering responses is not an option for me because I'm more intelligent than your entire family combined, which I probably am. See, I have my PC locked down to a far safer level, and it does kill some functionality. and actually some of those blockers, that's not the only thing I've got running. I'm not going to show you everything I've got running, but some of those blockers are actually for anti-malware, anti-ransomware, stuff like that. Uh, Plus, I've got non-browser specific stuff for both pop-ups and for malware and ransomware and antivirus. And my computer is, I'm not going to say it's like Fort Knox, because just as soon as I say that, I'm going to have about 1,000 trolls trying to tear into my computer, and then we will have to take things to the FBI because it would not be pretty. It does kill some functionality, but it is usually useless stuff. I don't normally argue with moronic trolls like yourself. All right. And I normally don't, but man, this is just absolutely ridiculous. And she puts down such arrogance, seeing your inability to take responsibility for your actions also matches your immature name calling. I find it amazing how humans can be so messed up. It may be genetic or upbringing. Oh my God, I would compare my IQ with yours any day of the week, and I guarantee you I would not be embarrassed. You would be, but I would not. I need to study you more to determine where the flaws are. Sweetie, you can study me all you want. You won't know a thing. Yes, you posted stats, but without a source. You may have just made them up. I didn't make them up. I just showed that to you. You could have copied bad data. Okay. All right. A logical statement by her. I have to give her this one. You could have copied bad data. I did copy bad data on one spot. And I went back after I saw that and I corrected it. Yay! I'm actually proud of you. You made a logical thought. Make more of these, sweetie, and you'll be all right. But you are not making very many of these. You're making fewer of these than you are anything else. But one thing you did for sure was invent a correlation. No, I did not invent a correlation. You see murder rates go up and down even if there is no change to the death penalty. That is very true. However, it's funny how every single up and down is not a pendulum. Like, not everybody swings up at the same time. Not everybody swings down at the same time. But what you can see is that when it swings up, or I'm sorry, when the death penalty is lifted, it swings up 100% of the time and just makes a beeline straight up higher than it ever had made it. The other thing that you see is that when they had no death penalty and they brought it back on, I got a phone call, so I'm going to have to stop this. I don't want to do that. Okay, so I did not get a chance to finish this video up the other day. I got the phone call and had to take it. And then I just let it go for a couple of days. Actually considered not posting it. We're up to 318 replies. They've all calmed down. And most of those other 18 replies are all this same retard that is coming in here. And I say retard because the definition of the word retard it's got bad connotation. A doctor can be retarded. Most doctors are retarded. They get to a certain point in their level of education, they zoom up there really fast, and then after they reach that level, they get this mentality where they will not learn from anybody else. They refuse to learn from anybody else because they think they're smarter than everybody else, including other doctors. They think there is absolutely no way on God's green earth that anybody can know something that they don't. And they refuse to learn, they refuse to listen, and they get smug in their own little things, and that's the very definition of retarded. They have ceased to learn. They are no longer making forward progress. Retardation just means something that is not quite where it should be. And it's mechanics use that term when it comes to ignition timing on cars. They've got what they call top dead center, and then they got retarded and advanced timing. So what that means is when the spark plug fires, inside of a piston. Uh, that's the relationship of where that piston is when the fire is put in there. Is it at top dead center? Is it before top dead center? Before top dead center is retarded. It's not top dead center. It's retarded in comparison. Advanced in comparison means that it is after top dead center. Um, Sometimes there is benefit in retarding the timing from factory specs. Let's say it's supposed to fire 3 degrees before top dead center, and you're using a much higher octane fuel, and you have higher performance parts, so you might have to retard that timing to 5 degrees before top dead center because you have to give the flame time to develop to its fullest capacity before driving that piston down. That's why you actually retard timing. And yes, you can retard timing for other reasons too. If you retard it too much or you advance it too much, you get knocking and pinging in the engine. But that's how engines work. But the point is, the word retarded, people are like, oh, you're being mean and cruel and socially unacceptable. I went way too far down. That's what's going on here. So when I say she's retarded, she really is retarded. She's retarded in, not like a doctor's retarded, where a doctor got an advanced degree and then refuses to learn from anybody. She's retarded in the fact that her education level, seriously, is that of maybe a 12-year-old. Out of this whole conversation, she has made one logical comment, and that's it. That's the only logical comment that she made, and I had just pointed that logical comment out. I was kind of proud of her. She made a logical comment. I don't remember what it was now, and wow, I'm just now barely getting into this thing. I gotta get way on down here where we were. You know what? I don't like the way that my computer has lag. See, I'm not in America now. I'm in a foreign country, and this foreign country's got a horrible power grid, and they've got subpar internet. A matter of fact, I think we lost power like 10 or 12 times last night. I've got this stupid doorbell that it's a wireless doorbell, I guess, but it runs off of the house power. So anytime the power goes out, the doorbell doesn't work. But when the power comes back on, it does a self-check. So it ding dong, and it's in my room. I'm sitting there sleeping. 5 times last night, the stupid doorbell went off because it came up. So I think this is about where we left off, right in here. I made 0 mistakes. Everything that she's posted has been 100% wrong up to that point. She actually posted a logical comment in here someplace. So we covered the stats. I find it funny that you made up numbers, but I didn't make up numbers. And actually, I've already proven that. And I did try to post those. And it's not that they delete them. They just never allow them to be posted. I mean, let me just do that. Let me show that to you here right now. We're going to go to how many people were murdered in China 2022. All right. I'm going to post a stat. It doesn't even have to I don't even know what I'm posting here. Don't even care, because I can already tell you that when I post this, it's not going to post. So it looks like it posted. It says it posted. I can come down here and I can actually see it at the bottom of the comments thing. There's the posting right here. Now watch what happens. I hit enter to refresh this, and we come over here. Oh, come on. We come over here. Watch this one post. Watch this one make a liar out of me. Every now and again, once in a blue moon, it will allow me to post a post. And usually, it's when I'm trying to rickroll somebody. They will allow you to post a rickroll post, no problem. But when you try to drive home a point or prove something that's true, oh no, they can't have the truth being posted out there. They're known to be liberal liars, and the government relies upon them to be liberal liars and keep the American population dumbed down to below stupid levels, which is exactly where this retard is. She probably spends too much time watching YouTube videos. And she thinks that everything she watches is 100% true, and she thinks she knows everything. She can't even understand what she's watching. She can't even understand what she's reading. So how the heck does she know everything? I mean, it's pretty sad when two people, not one, but two people talk about the victims that were killed would have rather been in prison than killed, and she's like, oh, you think the victims are the criminals? No, that's not what either one of us said. You are just a bleeming retard from the word go. Yeah, this is going to take a minute or 3 or 4 to expand all the way down, and I'm not going to try to cause it to all right. You were the ones who said the criminals were victims, and then you deleted your mistake. I didn't delete anything, sweetie. Matter of fact, you can tell from the flow of the conversation. I'll show that here in a minute. All right, but first I want to get down to the very bottom statement in here. And there's the very bottom statement, because this is where it ends. I'm able to, if I reply to this one here, and hit reply, you'll see that reply shows up there, but underneath this one, but not the way that the others would. All right, so, and I'm actually going to delete that one because that was a BS comment, just to show something. Yeah, delete that. All right, so that's it's not there. That thing that I tried to post, that looked like it posted, that you could see, is now gone. And I guarantee you right now, the only reason we saw it was because it was on my computer. But if I had if you'd been sitting there on your computer looking for the comment, you would have been like, it didn't show, it didn't show, it didn't show. You didn't post it. Well, I tried to post it, it just didn't post. These people will not allow you to post a comment. All right, so to post they'll allow you to post comments, but they will not allow you to post evidence. Not me, anyway. All right, so I didn't delete any comments, and you can tell that from the flow of things. You can't take responsibility for your screw-ups. You'll continue to have more problems like you're having now. I'm not having any problems. The only problem I've got is a freaking troll who can't read, who keeps wanting to be the #1 and everything here. So I put down, the reason I called you out was because of this comment. You're so wrong. Da 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 da. Not convicted. Where did we leave off at? Provide a bit of entertainment. Smarter people. Okay, yeah, I'm way up on this thing now. Oh! Oh! It actually posted them. Some of them, maybe? Let's see here. Let's see if it posted. Hey, troll, I'm not the one who said the criminals were the victims, then proceeded to say others said it instead. So this one I actually made a comment, and somebody, not me, because if I do that, somebody gave me a thumbs up on that. So somebody's seeing that I'm right. Thank you, people. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you want to talk about taking responsibility, take actions of your own first, and maybe you'll realize this entire thread who's been wrong on every level, which is her. Then she put down, see, I see after I showed you were wrong, and the rest of the world agrees with me, indicating that you were wrong. You resort to name calling and accuse me of your mistakes. Very mature and immature indeed. You know what? I didn't accuse you of making my mistakes. You accused me of saying something that I did not say. So I gave it back to you and I accused you of the same thing, and now you're all butthurt. How does it feel to be accused erroneously, huh? Okay, so what do you do next? Provide some evidence? You can't. There is none. I've already done it. And nobody agrees with you. No, you know what? Everybody agrees with me. You're wrong and remain in denial. Truly a sad, sad case. You're the one who remains in denial. You're the one who says, oh, and this whole thing, we're arguing two different cases now, retard. And I don't think you're even smart enough to realize that. We first started off with you saying that I said something that I didn't say. I provided evidence of that over and over and over and over again by copying the actual comment and putting it back in there and saying, look here, this is what I said, retard. This is what I said. This is what I said. This is what I said. And you still haven't figured that out. But then you tried to change the topic. You really did try to change the topic and jump in on ASDF's and Andrea's comments. That's what it was. And now you've asked for that. And I put down, okay, so you know what? This one here, it didn't, I posted some stuff in here with the comments, and as you can see, they're not there, with the links rather, they're not there. And yet to this day, she's saying, you've never provided one source. She's again accusing me of something that she's done. Again, accusing me of something that she's done, but then turning around and saying, oh, but you're accusing me of something that you did. No, you got it so backwards. You're the one who's making all the wrong comments and then accusing others of making those comments. Every link I post gets deleted by the mods regardless of content. I could even post a fake link to support your fake news and it would get deleted. I love the way you tried to change the topic 3 times and every time you lost. Go back to school, loser. I cannot post a link even if I delink it. Let's try it like this. Okay, so here, I put it in here. https://www.safewise/blog. See, and she's probably too stupid to know how to put this together. /Safe Climate Cities, Arizona, or Google it yourself. And here's a far better idea. I'll just post my own content. Now, I posted this 2 days ago and I haven't done it yet. But see, even though they will delete my links, and I'm really surprised they posted that, because they'll even delete this stuff on me, or not post this stuff on me. But I've never tried to post an hour-long video before. And that other video was an hour and a half long. And I have no clue how long into this video I am right now. But I don't know if these are going to post or not. I may have to break them up. I've never really edited my videos before. I don't know how to break them up without deleting stuff. It's going to be fun trying to figure that out if I have to. I hope I don't have to. Anyway, I can post just about anything up on my channel, video format, and they don't delete it, and they don't block it. So that's kind of asinine for them to say, oh, well, we're not going to let you put a link in here to prove your point, but if you want to make a video about it, maybe that's why they're doing that. Maybe they're trying to force me to make a video, but that's stupid. Here's where I put that Portugal statement. You know what? I probably should have just edited that Portugal statement. I'll go do that in a minute. Matter of fact, let me copy this so that when I do it, I can do that. You really want to watch this video. I admit something in here. Okay, y'all saw me. You saw me make that comment in the last video. Or if I get these two videos somehow linked together. I don't know if I can do that or not. I'm going to try that too. Maybe I can make one long video. But anyway, here she comes in. You're the one who said the criminals were victims. I did not. Then after I corrected you, you deleted your... I did not delete the comment. Matter of fact, you can see up there where I very much so before she ever made one comment, I came in and said, look, EBE said this, you misunderstood it, and then I turned around and I addressed EBE and said, your comment was very sound and very good to go. Then she comes in here and starts talking. She did not correct me. She's never corrected me. She can't correct me because she's not been... I've done nothing wrong, except for one time she did correct me when I accused her of making that comment when I knew she didn't. And she actually caught it and corrected me. That's the only thing that she did. But I did that to let her see what it feels like to have somebody lie about what you said. Because she is lying about everything in here. And then she says, you really aren't too bright. Yeah, you're right. I've only got an IQ of 165. It could be a lot higher. But then again, it is about 100 points higher than yours. There are no mods on YouTube. Really? Really? Are there mods on YouTube? A moderator helps to... Moderate live YouTube help. Google support. A moderator helps to review and manage comments people leave on a video. Oh, sweetie, you are so stupid. You are so stupid. You make comments. You don't even look them up. You have no clue what you're talking about. Oh, you have now displayed your form illiteracy. And by you... Oh, you are too fucking hilarious. What a retard. Watch the video, bitch. What a retard. What a retard. I cannot believe. That's freaking hilarious. I'm going to use one of these. I've never used these. How do you, where'd the laughing one go? Oh. I always do the keyboard shortcuts and they never show the little smiley faces that everybody does. Oh, where is the laughing one? I've seen people use it. Oh, it's got to be in one of those other ones, right? Yeah, it's got to be up here. That one. Yeah. Okay. First time I've ever used one of those. There are higher, okay. If you knew how to use Google, you would. Oh my God. So here she is. This is why I said a lot of these were hers. All right, so I've caught up to where everything is, and this is the end of the video. But as you can see, this troll has got to be the dumbest troll on the face of the earth. Has no clue what she's talking about. Doesn't know anything about Google. Doesn't know anything about how to look up, how to do research. Doesn't know anything about the platform that she's using. Doesn't know anything about English. Cannot read. Cannot keep up with the conversation. And only ever made one logical comment in there. Just one. That's pretty sad. out of how long has this been going on for? The dates should show accurately. Um, where did I chime in at? Let me go up here and go find nobody. 105 matches, and not all of those are my comments. Some of them are people saying, hey, nobody does this or whatever, like right here. Not the government, but nobody should be able. Yes, I am able. All right, I'm just kidding. All right, so my first comment in here is 8 down. And so you can probably say 8 minus 100 and divide that by 2 because she responds to me a lot. So I probably made about 50 comments in here. That's just a rough guess. What was I doing? Oh, I was going to look. This started 10 days ago because my first comment to her was made on the same day that I made all of these. Oh, no, it wasn't either. My first comment to her was made oh yeah, somebody answered me to one of the comments that I made, and it brought me back in here 3 days later. So it was the 7th day, I think, that I actually made a bunch of comments to a bunch of other people because I started reading the comments, and it was that 7th day, 7 days ago, that I made, and the last comment that was made by her was probably today or yesterday, 9 hours ago. You should really stop calling criminals victims. I never called them victims. You retard. Okay, so 9 hours ago. So for 7 days, she's been crying. Oh, yeah, I saw something earlier today on the phone. It's funny. She says, it's called Google. You should learn how to use it, but you won't because you know I will prove you wrong. You haven't proved anything, not one thing. You call criminals victims and try to push your error onto others. Nope, didn't do that. You did. Actually, you didn't, but you tried to claim somebody. You tried to claim 2 people said something and they didn't say it. Um, oh, where did she make that comment about hundreds of statements? She made a comment about using hundreds of statements, hundreds of comments. Let's see here. I can go all the way back up at the top, see if I can find it the easy way. I doubt it. Control find hundreds. Yeah, if I missed the D there, hundreds. Okay, let's see if one match. Okay, so that's not it. Let's go hundreds. 18 matches of that. Where did that pop off at? I don't see where it went to. 3 of 18, 2 of 18 is there. 3 of 18 is right there. 4 of 18 is right there. 5 of 18, 6 of 18, 7 of 18. Where is that at? Oh, it's probably in here. Oh, wow, she must have deleted that comment. She must have deleted that comment. Let's see if it still shows in my response things here. Here, right here. She must have deleted this. Marvelous Software replied, nobody, yeah, right, none of your comments are missing. Uh, yeah, none of them are. So now you claim to have hundreds of comments memorized and double check them every day. No, I don't double check them every day. I only double check these because your retarded ass uh, has got me involved in this conversation and I'm trying to prove where you're wrong. And now you've deleted that comment, probably because I put down in here that the two of us combined have not made hundreds of comments. Maybe 100, but not hundreds. All right. So, but I put down. I told her if I was her, I'd go hide my face. She really ought to because when I upload these, oh my God, the two of us combined did not make hundreds of comments. And yes, I know what I said, and I know what I did not say, and most importantly, I know what you said. Oh my God, this woman is just absolutely the dumbest person on the face of the earth. How does it feel to be accused of something that you didn't do? Now you know what EBE and I felt like, troll. Watch the video, it's coming now. And I haven't actually started uploading it yet because I wanted to review it and I wanted to put this in there, but I'm going to upload it as soon as I get done with this. Well, actually, I'm going to try to combine the two, or I don't know what I'm going to do. But it'll be up there before the end of the day. And you really aren't too bright. There's, oh yeah, this is the one that I just did. Oh man, this woman. All right. So as you can see, this woman just from the very get-go was absolutely a retard in what she was saying. And with this, I'm going to end the video. And I want to wish everybody, and I'm sorry for ranting and raving on this, but really, this retard should be banned from breathing air because she's robbing oxygen from intelligent people. Oh Lord, she's dumb. And no, that's not a death threat. I'm just being facetious. I'm saying that this woman's just a waste. She shouldn't even be. She needs to go back to school, like the first grade. That's where she belongs. All right. I can't wait to retire. I retire, I'm going to get rid of the computers. I'm going to go find myself a beach someplace. I'm going to sit down on the beach and I'm just going to watch the waves roll in. You know, I'm an actual electronics engineer, computer engineer, and I work overseas and some pretty harsh environments. And I like to come home and I like to watch a video because I work long days. I get a lot of time off. I only worked 7 days out of like 21. But those 7 days, I put more hours in than most people will put in. Matter of fact, most people get overtime for the amount of hours that I work, but we don't get paid overtime. Um, so when I come home, I'm dead tired. I'll sleep for a day or two, and then I'll get up and I like to watch a video or whatever because there's not a whole lot to do around here unless you want to get eaten. But so I like to watch videos. I like to watch movies. But man, to get involved with a conversation with a troll like this just is absolutely. It was entertaining at first, but now it's becoming a little bit infuriating because she can't even make a logical statement and she's lying, lying, lying. And I'm going to make one last proof of that. We're going to go in here. We're going to go marvelous software. All right. And we're going to go to the top with this comment, all the way to the top. We're going to find out where she went into the conversations at with me. She's been in here for 8 months. This is where she got into it with right here is where she got into it with EBE. EBE made a comment, and this is where she says, "I assume," because she doesn't know, that you're talking about the dead people being the victims, or You are wrong when you say the victims. I presume you're talking about the convicted here. Presume. Well, you shouldn't have presumed because that's not what he said. He said the victims most certainly would have preferred being alive because they're not alive than being dead because they are dead. Plain as day. He's talking about the victims, all right? They'd rather be alive, and they would rather be alive in prison than being dead. No one is dead out of this entire story except the victims, by the way. The convicted people that got the death sentence were never killed because California did away with the death penalty. And she's too dense to even know that. All right, so here we're going to go down to the next one. We're going to go down to the next one. And she's in an argument with God's love. So she's saying, yeah, the whole world agrees with me. So far, EBE doesn't agree with her. That God's love doesn't agree with her. Cassandra Beck doesn't. Cassandra Beck. I'm sorry, I said Cassandra Black earlier. Doesn't agree with her. I don't agree with her. Like no one agrees with this person. So here is my very first comment to her. No, the victims are not the convicted. Her very first comment to me is, LOL, what are you, wacko? Notice that was down. If I go up, there's the very first comment made. No deletions, no substitutions. That's the very first comment made. And it's as obvious as a nose on your face. All right, so if I go down slowly so that you can actually see this and you say, oh, well, you're going too fast. See, it's going in an upward direction. Let me go in a downward direction. Let me go the other direction, okay? So this is 7 days ago. This one should be 8 because it's an older comment coming up right there's 10 days. So at the very top of the screen, this is 10 days right there. This is 7 days. So 7 days ago, I made this comment to her. After I made that comment to her, and we're going to go down, still on 7, still on 7, still on 7, still on 7. Her very first comment to me, as I keep going down. Oh, where is this retard? Right there. 7 days ago. What are you, wackadoo? That's her very first comment to me. All right? And that's her responding to my comment up there where I said they were not the victims. And then notice the very next comment, that hers was 7 days ago. The very next comment is a newer statement. So this is definitely going in chronological order. Nothing missing, nothing substituted, nothing edited. Her imagination runs rampant. I would hate to be a friend of hers because you could be sitting in a car with her on a 30-minute drive to the store, not say a word, and then get out of the car and she's going to be like, why were you calling me names in the car? Because she's got it in her thick skull that you said something that you didn't say. And she's going to go off on that. Well, you said this. I didn't say a word. All right? I never said that the victims were the criminal, or the criminals were the victims. You want to know who the real criminal is? The real criminal is her. She's the criminal for using food and air that real people should be using. Ay, 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 ay. Oh, she's lucky I don't really feel like that. All right. I sort of do, but I sort of don't. I'm not going to take any action on it. Oh, y'all have a good day. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you can see what I saw because I saw it and I still don't believe it. How can somebody be that dumb? Have a great day, YouTube.